Well, it's Storytime Sunday. Yay! I'm so excited to be here today. Like I said, it's my favorite part of my week, starting to really enjoy talking with all of you. I've had so much great feedback about Storytime Sunday, and I had my story time last Sunday at the office with the Christmas tree, and I have to confess something to you guys. I've not felt this way before about YouTube. So, hi, come on in, everybody. I have to confess something. The last Sunday that I was on live, I was unaware that YouTube is doing some things to the channels. I learned about it from Lester and Jamie. I heard about it, but I wasn't aware of this. So, the last Storytime Sunday, they actually blocked my comments. So I couldn't see any comments coming up. And I made up a story that nobody liked what I was saying. And I was not sure that I was going to keep doing this. Um, I was really hard on myself. I didn't know. Thank y'all. I didn't know that if you guys were just not interested in what I was saying last Sunday, but it was YouTube. YouTube had blocked my comments, literally frozen on the right side of the screen. Facebook was getting some comments, but in my mind, I made up a story that y'all didn't, that I was saying something wrong or doing something wrong. So I was not going to do these. And then I realized that the YouTube had blocked the comments and that there were 383 comments that I did not see. It is difficult to sit in front of a camera for an hour and talk and not see any comments. I think that made me realize that I needed to hear from you guys, and I needed to hear where you guys were with me. And it made me feel connected to you all when I see your comments like I do now. And like you say, it's very human to go there, to feel that way, that you liked it. So I made up the story when they were frozen that I was just rambling. My mom said that I was squirreling all over the place. Well, the reason why I was squirreling all over the place was trying to see if there were any comments. My heart just melted. My husband. Oh, my husband. Um, Hello from Florida. Hello, hello. Hi to hello, everybody. So, with that being said, forget YouTube. They did not have the comments going, and today the comments are going, and I see y'all are with me. So let's go. So today, it's the season of the holidays, and Christmas is Wednesday. Hey, hey, Mama. My mama's here. It is the season of Christmas and the season of Christmas reminds me to be thankful for all of the blessings and all the things that are happening. And hello, Vanessa. And the things that are happening in my life are great, great things. And I think that sometimes we feel like we don't deserve great. And look, I know that I've worked really hard, and the Lord knows that I've put in the time. He takes you through the wilderness and He gets you to that promised land, and that's now. And I have to grab onto that and not let that negative talk, comments frozen, make me have self doubt. So forget the self doubt. I'm not doing that because there's a lot of things that are good and great happening here. We're going to talk about some of those today. And I'm going to share with you what I did this past week. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of everything of me into this video. We're going to dive into some animals. We're going to talk about what's behind me. We're going to talk about something I wrote in a journal. And I'm going to share with you guys, and I'm not going to worry and let those comment. I'm seeing the comments coming, so I'm feeling really good right now. Today, as I said on one of my videos, I'm letting my tattoos show. So I'm just letting them out there. So A lot of people had asked me what they mean, and I have something to share with you guys about my tattoos. So I'm just going to be authentically Lauren today, and we're going to talk out a lot of things. And I want you guys to feel free to ask me any questions you have. Now, I've spoken to my husband about this, and I'm different than Jamie, and I cannot compare myself. Jamie has so many things in her life. She's got animals galore and land, and I have jobs that I go to and temporarily live in a rental home. Now, next year is going to be big blessings. We're going to have land, we're going to have a home. I'm putting it out there. It's a 10 to 25 acres. It's got a barn dominium, a barn. Bodie's going to be there. We're going to have goats. I want chickens. Yeah, Tim, I want chickens. I want to have a miniature horse. I want to have a gelding. So, with that being said, good things are coming. My husband is pawing from the other. He's going paka from the living room. And he knows that I want to have chickens. He's going to have to collect some eggs. So I'm going to start by addressing what's behind me. So what's behind me? So this painting, I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to dive into some animal stories. This painting behind me was painted by my mom. And the story goes like this. So my mom and I have developed quite a friendship over the years, and we would often go shopping together. And we were walking through a Hobby Lobby, and I was looking for something to put on the wall. And I found, those little cardboard like printouts that are kind of pre-framed in the back of Hobby Lobby, kind of by the frames and everything. Well, they're like little things, and they're like, I don't know, at the time, this would have been probably 15, 20 years ago. They were probably like $15 to $20. And my mom was like, don't buy that. I'll paint it. And I was like, mom. My mom's been known to have, when you ask her for a painting, she said any great artist takes 16 to 24 months. So 16 to 24 months was too long for me to wait for something on my wall, but I told myself, be patient. My mom's a beautiful artist. She'll paint it. So this painting behind me took around 8 to 10 months for my mom to do. And the original was in black or white. Now you can see that this is not black and white, and it's got a lot of color to it. But what this painting means to me, it's hung in my bedroom, is that this horse, you can't see its eyes. And you can't see, but you can still feel it. I feel from this painting, the strength of the horse, the muscles, the wind blowing through its mane, the open fields behind it. There's not a fence in sight. The back of the body in the original black and white was dun or like a lighter color. So mama left it. Oh, which way am I putting? The lighter part was a lighter part of the horse's body, but the horse is in an open field with its ears pointed forward in curiosity and learning, and the eyes not being there, but the nose is soft, the mouth is soft, the hair just blowing in the wind. And what this reminds me of is to be free and to be myself, to know that I'm not alone. In this picture, I feel a lot of the Lord, there with the horse and the wind. It's a very special painting to me because of the way my mom painted it. It just reminds me of animals wanting to be at peace and animals wanting to be loved, and they want to feel, they want to be able to be safe. And I love, love, love this painting. And there's so many fine details about it that I love. And my mom signed the bottom part of it. And, that signature right there on the bottom part of that painting. Let me go the other way. It's always opposite. But that signature right there says D. Baker. And my mom has done a lot of paintings, and I lost about 5 of them in the floods for Harvey. My mom has been an artist her entire life. And when she was 4 years old, she was drawing scenes of Bambi. And one time, my grandfather, her father, went into his safe in that back room, kind of that manly room where he's got a safe in. And when he opened it, there was a picture in the safe of Bambi. And I knew that my grandfather knew that my mom, was very unique with her drawing at such a young age. My mom has always done art, and she was honored in school for being best in art class. And, she still paints. And recently, when I call my mom, sorry, I have a tickle. When I call my mom is actually doing art when I call her. And recently, she started to be more free, and her art has morphed. And in my mind, my mom's art has morphed into something that is more uniquely her personality. And I think that a lot of us live, and this is what I'm realizing, a lot of us live and sometimes don't realize that we are not living up to our full potential and not being free and not caring what people think. And my mom sent me this art. I'm going to show it to you on the camera here. My mom sent me this. And when my mom sent me this, one, it's a dragonfly. And dragonflies are really special to my mom. And this painting that she did is very abstract. It's very free flowing, like not structured like my mom would normally do. And this makes me very happy. There's so many details in it, but this is really cool. My mom, her art has morphed, but she's always loved dragonflies. So my mom and I's connection to dragonflies is special. And I actually went with my mom to get a tattoo, and I have a dragonfly tattooed on my back. I don't know if we can see it here. I'll try. Let me see if I can turn my body. And so there's a dragonfly on my back, and me and my mom both have one. And it's very special. And tattoos and connecting with my mom through art and through tattoos has been one of my motivations and one of my greatest feelings, to have a mother who's so artistic and so free to be able to do that. So the tattoos to me tell stories, and everybody has tattoos. Now, if you think about it, back in the day, what was taboo? What was taboo in 1950, 1960? Well, even back it up, 1940. Tattoos, they were taboo. If you had a tattoo, you were thought as what? Like not good, dirty, maybe like riffraff, a heathen, something like that. But now many people have tattoos, and they're an expression of their self. For me, tattoos are a story. And so I had tattoos. This was a really big tattoo that I had put on. This was probably my biggest, most proud tattoo that I ever got. And tattoos are, some people don't like them, and I don't really care. Back in the 90s, Mary says tattoos were a bad thing in the 90s. Now it's a form of art. It's very true, very form of expression. And I think that tattoos are also for me to feel like we're alive. You feel pain, but it's, and I hate to say this, I'll say it this way, forget it. It's, you're having the pain in that moment, but after it's over, it's beautiful art. Much like the pain that I went through with the floods, but then now I'm going to have land and a home where Bodhi can live, and that's beautiful. So there's a lot of symbolism in those free expression. 9 tattoos. Wow. Oh, I wonder if anybody else had how many. Well, that's a whole nother question. I want to know how many tattoos people have, but I also have 8 tattoos, and my husband, I think he has 7. But tattoos are expression of art. So um, I know this question has been asked a lot, but one of the things that I'm going to read before I show you this tattoo, I have got to show you. Not many people have seen this one. But let me read you out of my journal something that helped me to flourish into the Lauren that you see today. So this is titled My Journey Towards My True Self. And I got myself this book and wrote this in 2023. It's not very long, but it's very powerful. So it says, My journey towards my true self. My journey starts with being able to be aware of what I need, what I want, and what I desire. Life has not always shown me kindness, but I continue to be kind to others and to show mercy. Well, that didn't work out too well for me. So I changed. I learned to love myself first and be kind to myself first because this makes me happier. I learned to say no. No to all the things that I didn't want to do. No to things I didn't want to say and ways that I didn't want to act. I was tired of being an actress, tired of being a fake, and tired and a mirror image of someone else that I do not recognize. What did I want to eat? What did I want to do? What worked best for me? And what colors do I like? It felt so good to not have the burden of what others wanted me to be and to finally be free and finally be me. Man, if my 46-year-old self could tell my 11-year-old self, that right there would be huge. But I can't. So I embrace it at the age that I am now, and I get tattoos. And I think a tattoo comes with every milestone, with every change, with everything that happens in my life, whether it be the floods or whatever happened. So in my life, I've had different tattoos at different times. And I'm going to start with by saying that the tattoo that was the most scary for me to get was the first tattoo on my arms at all. Now, when I knew that I was going to be a chiropractor, I had my first tattoo is on my chest. It's an angel and it says heaven over earth and it represents my grandmother. I had my mom take a black marker and put a dot on each side where I would be wearing a scrub so that nobody would ever see it. So if I had on a V-neck scrub like this, nobody would ever know I had a tattoo. Oh, the pressure, the constraint, don't want anybody to see it. My mom took me for my first tattoo. I was legal, but I think she went just to see if I could do it. But anyway, I got that tattoo and then I was 18 and I worked and nobody saw it. Well, one day I was working at the office, my first office I ever worked at, and I leaned forward and my scrub suit gapped open and a little kid saw the tattoo in front of his mother. And my heart sank, my stomach sank, and I was feeling in the pit of my stomach that I could not let them see this tattoo. Can y'all feel that feeling? Like they could not see my taboo tattoo. This was like 2001. Like, no, you can't see this. I'm a professional. So when that happened, I was proud of myself because I decided when the child was seeing it that I would make it funny. And I don't know how I knew to do this, but it came to me. And I said, see her? She can fly. And I contracted that and it started to fly. And the little kid was just loved it. And the mother laughed and she laughed and then she told, her husband and he was laughing and she made her tattoo fly and, little Johnny liked it. And man, when that happened, I realized that I got to get out of my head about tattoos. Well, I'm working in the clinic and I was working in my own clinic and I was going through a really hard time. I was feeling like not so strong, was feeling the weight of the clinic bearing down on me. I was feeling the weight of the bills bearing down on me. At that time, I was paying like 50 something bills. I had a lot going on. And when you have so much in your life going on, sometimes you just want to crawl under a rock. Sometimes you just want to not be of the world, but be away from the world. And I knew that I was called to serve patients and be a vessel for people in chiropractic. I knew that I meant to do this and I couldn't stop. It was like Dr. Baker was one side and Lauren was the other side, and we were fighting, like, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't keep on with the stress. And at that moment, my husband said, get your ass in the car and I'm taking you to Louisiana and we're going to the casino and you're going to sit over there for 3 days and do mindless things. And then you're going to realize that you're an amazing chiropractor and that you are meant to do this. And I told him, okay. And we went to Louisiana. We went to the Golden Nugget. We sat in a hotel. It had just opened like 6 months prior. And I told him after 2 days of just gambling on, penny machines and quarter machines and just sitting there, I was like, I miss work. I miss my work because my work is my wonderful opportunity to rejoice kindness. And I have the wonderful opportunity to rejoice kindness, and it's a gift. And the Lord is working through my hands. Like, it's not so heavy on me. It's not all about me. Well, I got this tattoo. Let's see if you can see it. It's Hebrew, and it says Ashi Hayil, which means woman of strength, woman of valor. And it says Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31:31 was what I found to be able to remember why I do what I do. And it says, give her the gifts of her hands so she may use them as praises into the gates of heaven. And that right there, every time I touch a patient with my hands under their neck, is what I see. And I remember that I'm doing good work. So my first tattoo on my arm, visible to the public, which not a lot of people even saw it because it was on the undersurface, was that tattoo. And that started everything. From that moment that I got woman of valor, woman of strength, Ashi Hayil, Proverbs 31:31, I was almost giving myself permission to just let the tattoos go. Just let them all hang out. So after I got this one, I got this one. And this one, this one is a story. This one is a story. You talk about StoryTime Sunday. So this tattoo was created by a woman who had just moved here from Ohio. And this tattoo is so special to me. It is a Hamza. So Hamza represents I am a child of God. And the Hamza is a special thing that represents that. And it's in the oldest cultures that we see a Hamza. And with that being said, Ohio tattoo artist designed this, and I'm going to break it down to you. So it's Dr. Baker Tattoo Breakdown. So if this bores anybody, I don't apologize, but I'll see you next Sunday after we talk about it. So this is Shin, which means all people under Jesus that were made in the image of the Lord's Son. This is the cross that Jesus died for our sins. This is 27, the age I was when I became a chiropractor. This is the eye of the Lord creating life, creating woman after she ate the apple that created life that went on in the branches, that the new leaves on either side are pointing towards him, the Phalaenopsis orchids, which are for femininity and are my favorite color, which is purple. The Star of David, which is bless my home, bless my heart. Doesn't mean that I'm Jewish, but it's bless my home, bless my heart. The color is Peruvian blue, which is the color of a blessed one, and the priest would use that as a sign of someone who was blessed and who had been saved. And there's snowflakes on either side, and that represents Tim and I because there's no two snowflakes alike. And Tim and I found each other when we were young. I was 13, he was 15. So a lot of things. Now it's on my arm and I wear it very proudly. This was my first big tattoo and I love it. It is one of my favorite tattoos. Um, I then started to feel like I needed to fill up the rest of my arms. And with every challenge I endured, this one was the next challenge. And this one was the next challenge. And I know I'm about to run out of room on my arm, but I do have one arm that does not have anything on it. So I love meaningful tattoos, Vanessa. I love to have a meaning of a tattoo. I think Pink Panther with a lawnmower or Chucky or any of these things, it's just weird. I love one of my mom's tattoos. It's so beautiful. And it says, faith, trust, and pixie dust on her arm. Um, my mom, and I, like I said, connect, through our tattoos. And my mom is such a free spirit in the fact that she just leans in, and I think that I've learned things like that from her to lean in. Well, there are more tattoos to go over. I know that a lot of people get them for people who've passed, and like Teresa saying that, getting one for the dog that passed away. And there's different tattoo artists, and some of them are called realism, some of them are called artistic, some of them are impressionistic. It just depends on what you're wanting and what kind of artist. But this artist, the one that started the lion, this one, and the horse. So let me see here if I can show you guys without giving you a crotch shot. Let's see. The horse. So hard to show on here. There we go. And the same artist did all three of them. And I really love her work. And so this one on my right arm is my lioness with a crown to remind myself how strong I am, to remind myself that I am a princess, I'm important, I'm special, that I am loved, but I am really strong and fierce. I got this one when I started working out and lifting weights and trying to get myself stronger and in shape, and just realized that I need to work out. We need to move our bodies, and I was working out, and my husband says that I work out every day by lifting horse legs. I don't work out in a sense. I can hear my husband on the treadmill right now, but I'm just tired. Today's my rest day. So I got that one to remind me how strong I am, and I love her. And she has purple eyes and a purple stone. Purple's always represented a color of transformation for me. I love it a lot. Love purple. Well, let me tell you about the next tattoo after the lion. So this one is really special, but this video is not going to do it justice because you can't even read the newspaper. So who knows what this is? Who's this woman? Anybody know this woman? A lot of you probably have heard of Rosie the Riveter. Rosie the Riveter. Rosie the Riveter. Yeah. Rosie's one tough lady, huh? That's my grandmother. So Rosie the Riveter's body, I would say not her body, but her pose with the flexing of the arm and the pin that signified Rosie, the entrance to the facility. They had like a pin to get into the facility when they were working. So let me tell you the backstory. So the backstory of this is that in 1941, 42, my grandmother Geneva was a young lady and she was in high school. And she said that, you know what? I got something better. Hold on. I'm going to tell you all this story of my grandmother building bomber planes during World War II. And I will make sure that my grandmother's voice is heard because YouTube is forever. So hold on just a minute. And I'll let you hear a snippet of a strong woman named Geneva who built bomber planes during World War II. Hold on to your socks. This is pretty cool.
Chairs from the table. Uh-huh. So I called him and told him. And I went to Murray, and that helped me get on.
What did you do in Murray?
Do it.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to the part.
Oh, man. So you worked the summer between your junior and senior year there?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you saved money?
And then, yeah, uh-huh. And just as soon as I graduated, then I went over there. I think I'd went about some early to take that thing at Murray. And I don't know. It's just been so long.
That's all right. So but where did you go to Michigan, was it? To build the plane?
Yeah, you know what?
Detroit?
That's something I didn't want to do. And my brother was having a nervous breakdown. And he wrote home. Back then you didn't call. People didn't have those telephones. And he wrote home and said that he couldn't tell when to cross the street. He couldn't tell when the light was right. Wow. His nerves are so gone, And he had it so hard. No telling how many people.
Let me preface this by saying that my great uncle Shelley fought in World War II and he had come home injured. And this is what she's talking about, is that he was having trouble functioning. My Mamaw Geneva is from Kentucky, born and raised near the Kentucky Dam, and a little town called Princeton. And she was at Murray, Kentucky? Murray, Kentucky. I think it's Murray, Kentucky. Murray's Kentucky, Mom, or Tennessee? I can't remember. Well, Murray, and she went down there to learn how to do riveting. So she took like a 3-month course in between the summer, and they went down there and they learned to rivet. So she's telling about going to do the work there.
He had to kill,
in the war.
And so Dad and Mother, they packed my clothes and put them in a box. Back then I didn't have a suitcase or nothing, just boxes. And they brought me up here and put me on a train to go to Detroit.
Wow.
And you know how those train whistles come through here, so loud, But Lauren, I don't know, but I didn't collect none of that. I didn't know nothing till I got to Detroit.
Yeah.
And that train pulled in the station in Detroit, and I got out, and I seen the telephone. Then I went and I had a telephone book next to it. Well, I thought, I've got a cousin in Detroit. I was in Detroit, And I called her, and she said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm at the train station." And she said, "Well, you just stay there." I said, "I have to borrow my neighbor's." But back then, that's how you had to do. She borrowed her neighbor's car, and she come and got me. Well, and she said, then when we got home, she said, what are we going to do? I said, I want you to take me in the morning until I can get a job. I'll need money. And she said, I'll have to borrow my neighbor's car. And she took me to Detroit. And my radio in there is a Detroit. Wilburn bought it just because I had done that when I was young, And I worked in Detroit, in Detroit. And
making radios?
Yeah, sorting, just as fast as I was good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started trying to.
Now, you notice how she said, I went to make radios in Detroit, and I was good at that. Like, I mean, at her age, that she's 90 years old telling me this story, but she went there to make radios, and then she was called to do the planes. So listen a little bit more. It's not too much longer.
Find him, and he was on the east side, and I was on the extreme west side. And I had to go right down on a bus to get to his house. Got there, and he was so nervous and so pitiful. And he's still trying to work. It was hard on him working.
You talking about your brother, Shelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got him better. Me being there helped, and I started cooking and doing. And he got better. And not long after I was there, I was having to ride so far to work. It's pitiful on a bus. It costs money,
Mm-hmm.
And he, the plant closed.
The one that Shelly worked at?
And he said, "Sister, I'm sorry about this. I apologize to you, but I've got to move on over to where the Caldwell County men are, and they'll help me get a job."
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he done. Well, I didn't know what in the world I was going to do, so I was at the plant working, sorting.
Mm-hmm.
And this one girl said, she found out I was wanting a place. I told y'all this story.
No.
Okay, she said, I need a place. Said, let's
share.
Some girl that worked there close to me. She just is pretty and nice, and I liked her so well. And we went and found a place, and then we went to her grandma's. We walked.
So I'm going to fast forward through that. She actually ended up boarding a place for like $5. And the girl ended up having mental disease, and the girl had to be taken to a facility, psychiatric. And let me see if I can fast forward to the part about the planes. I just wanted you to hear.
And I was sorting, and I started to say, "What good is that girl? I don't know, no." And I told him, I said, what the ordeal was, And he said, "Well, when you see me," I said, so. And so I seen him at the water, found the best suitcases, and pick up your best clothes and go. Be the happiest person in the world to do that.
Wow.
And I'd been there quite a while, and it was coming winter, and I didn't have no winter clothes with me. And so I wrote home and told Mother. So they shipped me a box of clothes up there. And this old man, when they delivered them, he carried them upstairs and put them there close in the hallway in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll get you some water.
No, I'm all right. And he opened it up. He opened up the.
Well, she goes on to talk about how she didn't have clothes and they would ship them to her. And she was making $3.50 an hour. And $3.50 an hour today would be like $38 an hour, which is a lot. And she made that. She riveted the wings of the planes for a year. And she wore these, I think somebody above Cindy said, dungagis, like Nomax, and she wore those. My battery is going low on my computer. Let me see if I can plug it in real quick. Hold on just a minute. I'll be right back, okay? I should have planned better for my battery to not go dead. Hold on, I'll be right back. Up. Okay. Sorry about that. Battery is now back in. So $3.50 an hour, and she came home and was able to buy herself a house, and she accomplished a lot. So amazing what she's done. She passed away at 93 years old. And in this tattoo, what we were talking about, my grandmother always said, do the work. It says, do the work. She said, do the work and the Lord will reward you. And this is a picture of my grandmother, Geneva. On the backside is the plane, the B-25 that she built during the war. And the newspaper article from 1942 that says, women go to work. And then there's a little picture of two women inside the wing taking a break from eating a sandwich and taking a break from riveting. And my grandmother never saw this tattoo, but I believe she would absolutely love it. And I love it. And so it's something that really speaks to me to be able to do tattoos and tell a story. And, Jessica is actually on here. Hi, Jessica. And Jessica also has tattoos that have meaningful stories. And I believe that it's starting to be dungarees. Yes. I believe it's starting to be a trend. Up, up. The dog and the cats are coming. Hold on. Wait, get the cat. Leave the cat alone. Fiona. Chitara. Now, I don't have kids in the kid sense, but these are my kids. So there's my big kid. There's my little kids. We got boxes. We're ready to leave. Can you tell? Fiona, Fifi, Gigi. So anyway, kids jumped on the bed when I went out the door. So on the day after Christmas, here's my news. The day after Christmas, I know. Hold on. I know. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I know. Okay, you're a good boy. The day after Christmas, you can't be in the video. You can't. Get down. Lay down. Hold on. Wrangling a wolf. The day after Christmas, I have decided to get another new tattoo. And I want you all to know that I'm going to do this new tattoo in honor of my mom's mother. So this is my dad's mother, Geneva, and the one on my right arm will be for my mom's mother, Wanda. And Wanda and my mom and I all share the same middle name. We're all women cut from the same cloth. And I'm really excited to go and do this. I had my consultation on Saturday. I feel that this new artist will really represent her well. It's not going to be a picture of her face, but it is going to be very special. And I can't wait to show you guys this tattoo. Now, my tattoos have come up quite often in the time that I've met you guys and that I've known you. And I wanted to share a little more personal today to let you understand more about what they mean. Now, the last tattoo, this was the first, I told you these, was the horse. And the horse tattoo, a little hard to get it all into the camera here, but I'm going to see if I can show you. The chiropractic hand touches the spirit of the horse, helping them to be their full potential. Proverbs 12:10, which is the righteous care for the needs of animals and the wicked are cruel. And the spirit of that is that I want to always do things that are righteous by the animal, for the animal. We're the keeper of animals. God gave them to us as a gift to be able to have while we're in this life together. And thank you. And this morning, I got a text message that one of my YouTubes, my first handful of YouTube videos, that Foxy Roxy, it's a little dog that I adjusted, that she's passed away this morning. And the owner said, I love you for everything you did for her. She's now in heaven. Thank you for everything you've done. I'll be in touch. Now, he sent me a picture of her in the coffin with the flowers. And it was really sad. I'm really going to miss her. But one of the things that I love about what he did for her is that he called me to her on Monday to adjust her. And I did an adjustment on her, and she was so much better. Her tail was curled up. She was running around, and she was doing great things. She just felt great. She wasn't trying to bite me. She was just happy. And he called me on Wednesday and he said, please come. She's regressed. Something's wrong. And I got there. She was tensed in her stomach. She was not having a bowel movement. She was not interested in food. And I'm not a veterinarian. And I told him, this is not just about an adjustment. Her breath smelled really bad. She had lost a tooth, might have been infected because her breath smelled very, very bad, like rotten sardines. So when that happened, he said, is it time? And he said, can you? And so there was a whole discussion about, this time. So what it made me realize was that at that moment when he was asking me, he said, how do you know when it's time? And I said, it's time when you're doing right by them and not letting them suffer in pain. As my job as an animal chiropractor is not to be a veterinarian and not to make the decision for them to do that, but it is definitely my human responsibility to have kindness. And like I read in the book here about being kind, and being myself and being true to myself, that I did not mince words with him. And I said, one of my clients said I would ask 5 questions. Can they do 5 of their favorite things? And he sat and he thought about it a while. And he said, well, thank you for everything you did. And, I know you can't do anything more than what you've done, but what you've done is more than most humans would do. And thank you for coming over tonight and staying so late. But he messaged me this morning that she had passed over. And that is a hard part. And it is a time of year, the holidays, where things are rough for a lot of people. And, him losing her and, us losing our relatives. And in that spirit, I think about my grandmother, Wanda, and what Christmas meant for us as a kid. And I know that this time of year may be hard for a lot of people. And I people have told me, like, this is a hard time. Like, I don't like Christmas. I don't like this time of year. I don't have family. I don't have people around. But what I will say is that nobody is alone, that people can reach out and there's lots of ways that you can reach out. I think even one of my viewers right now has mentioned there's a number you can call and people will talk to you and pray for you. But in this holiday season of Christmas, and knowing what everything's for, and knowing that we're here, we have a purpose, that God has left us, that God has us here for a reason, and that Jesus is the reason, that we are really blessed, and that this season is to remember Jesus and not so much to focus on the gifts and how much we can buy or how much we can't buy, and things like that. It means a lot when someone does buy you a gift, but it doesn't mean that they don't think highly of you if they don't. People can use words and hugs and can use all those things, like comments on a YouTube can mean a lot as well. So I checked in on him, someone saying, make sure he's okay. He's okay. We have a plan for him to grieve for a little bit, and then my husband and I are going to meet up with him and maybe have lunch. He's become quite close to us. He's a single guy. His dog was his world. She's his everything for 13 years. And I made a video. If you guys haven't seen the Foxy Roxy, you can look for that video. With that being said, I know that during the holidays, things can get hard for everyone. Tim and I, don't really do gifts. We don't have a tree. We just spend time together and cook food. And so we plan on cooking some new things this year. And I was just on the phone with my mom and I said, Mom, I want to make something different, not like traditional food, like I want to make something new. So I think we're going to make, what do we decide? Lasagna and brie bites and a watermelon beet mint goat cheese salad kind of thing. So we did not decorate. We did not have presents, traditional presents. Tim has bought me presents. he'll surprise me with little things here and there all year. So that's special to have quality time. Yeah, that's true, Vanessa. Vanessa says quality time and experiences can be wonderful gifts. Our memories are everything, and I remember Grandmama Wanda, my Grandmama Wanda and Grandmama Geneva doing a lot of things. And I think once the matriarchs of our family passed away, once Geneva passed, well, really once Wanda passed. My grandmother Wanda passed in 1988, and we never had Christmas together in Kentucky as a family like before. She was the glue that held us all together. And that's true too. I'm reading some of the comments, trying to do two things at once. Ever made tamales? I have made tamales. But my grandmother Wanda was the glue, and we all just kind of scattered, and we really didn't have a Christmas celebration. But I will say that my office staff, we have a tree at the office. We did our Christmas exchange. We did the Secret Santa where you draw a name. I drew one of my newest employees, and she was surprised what I got her. Got her some like cheese and wine and marshmallows and kind of like a food gift basket. Tim was there, and Tim drew one of the other employees, and he was like, I got to do this Secret Santa thing. I got to do Secret Santa. And it was funny watching him. But he did really good. He picked out like a throw blanket and a candle, and she had just gotten a new house. So I thought that was really appropriate. But sometimes, you have to find another way of celebrating, whether it be your office family or, your YouTube family. And I feel like we're all becoming a family. We're all becoming a family. I mean, I I really am starting to recognize like names over and over and people that I look forward to hearing from. So it's really great. My YouTube family and everybody on YouTube is yeah, man, it's like part of my life now. And I'm gonna read some of the things y'all are saying over here. Teresa said that happened with us too. We tried, but it just wasn't the same. So now we don't get together anymore except at funerals. That's the same for our family too, Teresa. Joanne says, Lauren, my mom was a matriarch. Once she passed at 98, 11/22 of 22, she was glue that kept family members united, celebrating holidays. Now everybody doing their own thing. Yeah. I think that is so true. We have that one matriarch that's like, okay, everybody just shut up and get together and we're going to make all the things and we're going to make the cookies and the chicken and dumplings and the country ham and the eggs. And I remember my grandmother Wanda, she would make chicken and dumplings. She'd make peach ice cream, one of those old wood turning things. And she used to make like country ham and biscuits with homemade biscuits with sorghum molasses and what else? Eggs. And oh my gosh, she even made, what's it called? Black eyed gravy, where she took coffee with the leftover renderings from the country ham and then made a gravy out of it. Oh my gosh. And this morning I actually ordered country ham from Cracker Barrel because I was thinking of Wanda and I was thinking of what I had. My grandmother made no cook fondant. My mom just reminded me. It's like butter and powdered sugar, and then you put red or green food coloring, and then knead it together, make little balls, and then press a pecan into it, a pecan into the center of it, and made these little no cook fondants. Red eye gravy. Red eye gravy. Okay, red eye. I said black eyed. Red eye gravy. I think that was like because if you woke up in the morning and you were tired and you had red eyes. I don't know why they call it red eye gravy. I don't know if y'all know what they call it. I'm not really sure, but I remember my grandmother making it for the adults. It was the adult red eye gravy when I was a kid. Well, yeah. So it was great mornings for breakfast when she would make that on Christmas morning. And, then we had all the other sides. And I remember all the family being there. There was probably like 30 of us. And we were all have like Santa. Well, we had this white elephant Christmas. Mom, I don't know if you remember this, but we had the white elephant Christmas. And there was this one thing that you would get that nobody wanted, and it was like a coconut that was painted with like a face on it, and it had like some hair glued on it. It was like a little coconut thing. And people would go around and then open it up, and they would open it up and they were like, oh, like, I got the coconut. Like it was really funny. And so we would like trade it. Who wants to trade? Nobody wanted to trade with the person that had the coconut. But I think they would come back around and actually, like give them a gift afterwards. So they weren't left with like, oh, a coconut head, but it was really fun. And we used to drive 14 hours from Texas to Kentucky to go see the family. And I was telling my husband this morning, we used to drive like 2 or 3 times a year to Kentucky to see family. My mom and dad moved from Kentucky down to Texas so dad could work at the chemical plants. And once they moved down, the relatives came up and down and up and down. And before Geneva passed away, she told me that she counted and they did 97 trips from Kentucky to Texas and Texas back to Kentucky. 97 times they came round trip. It was amazing until they couldn't drive anymore. And then we came to them. My first time flying alone to see Geneva, my family Geneva I was 19. And I had a dream about Wanda, and I wanted to fly up when I was 19. So I know this is a special time. Sometimes, everybody's got different experiences, right? Some people have lost people, and some people have families. Some people don't feel like they have anyone, but just know that there are numbers, there are contacts, reach out to people in the community. Try to look into like an art class or a church group, even like a gym. If my mom's 72 and she's going to a gym, 4 times a week, just getting around people, walking on a treadmill, moving your body. They have Meals on Wheels. They have home health services. There's just so many outlets. I know that is meaningful. And I know sometimes we feel like we're alone, but we're not alone. There's a lot of outreach and a lot of groups. There's phone numbers you can call for outreach. I think someone posted a phone number. It was like 988. You can call different number, look it up, and you can call numbers. But, even a neighbor, just checking on neighbors. And it made me think about something this morning when I woke up. I was thinking about how not connected, a lot of these subdivisions are. Well, after Beryl, the Hurricane Beryl that blew down our fence, and y'all probably remember that, there was no fence in the backyard, and we actually talked to every single neighbor. Like I knew the neighbors over there, over there, over there. Like we were so connected. And I think it is meant to, have our own yard, but it does make us all separate. So sometimes it's just simply knocking on the front door of the neighbor and not borrowing sugar and just saying, hey, are you okay? I know the guy next to us, he's ex-military, and that can be a hard time for people in the military. So checking on him, maybe knocking on the door. Thank you, Suzanne. 988, the mental health hotline. It's a national number. So if you dial 988, if you're feeling alone or you're feeling, depressed, or you're feeling like you want to connect with someone or just reach out, 988 is the number. So I know this is a holiday season, and I know I'm looking forward to Christmas and then going to get my new tattoo. So you know what next Sunday means? Next Sunday means reveal time. What am I going to get? Y'all are going to be blown away when you see what I get. I had to find the right person. I think I did. His name's Andy. He's from Cuba. He's from Cuba. And his name's Andy. So he's going to do a whole piece from right here to right here. If we can do it all in one day, I'll do it. 8 hours is a long time to sit. This was 5 hours. This was 4 hours. This was 4 hours. So if I can sit for 8 hours, I'll try to sit myself there. But I hope you'll have a very, very Merry Christmas. And remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. And next Sunday. Oh, a little thing before I go. I have been having someone help me with my videos because I got bogged down, but in the new year, I'm going to take it back over. He's about 2 weeks behind on videos. So while I'm not working over the holiday season, y'all look forward to lots of videos. He's going to have a part 1, a part 2, then another one, another one, another. So we have about 5 videos that'll be coming out over this holiday season. So randomly look for me because it's not going to be on any scheduled time. I'm just going to put them out there whenever he can, whenever he has them. So he's been helping me. Y'all know him. His name's Hunter, and Hunter's been putting some videos out there. Well, I mean, he's been helping me put some videos out there because I have a lot of things on my plate. A lot of things. It's so hard when I'm one person and I have 2 companies. So someone checked on me, by the way, one of my YouTube followers, Connie. Connie, thank you for reaching out and talking to me and asking me if I was okay. That meant a lot. Well, in my best country accent, thank you for watching StoryTime Sunday with Dr. Lauren. And I'm going to see y'all next Sunday. Y'all make sure y'all come and y'all bring your kinfolk and y'all watch me. And Merry Christmas. And I hope y'all all have a very, very good holiday. For now, I will see y'all soon. With all my love.